Hey everybody, how's it going? I was scouting tier maker for just random tier lists, and I saw this one, and I thought it'd be pretty fun to do, just randomly on a whim. Mario Super Sluggers is one of my, if not my favorite Wii game. I don't know why, to be honest. It is a good game. I would say it had the whole story mode, unlocking the characters is really fun, the whole inventory and like puzzle system. All that stuff was really cool. How you can unlock the team captains and they have powers and stuff like really cool. Really, they did more than they need to, and especially they do more than they do now. I feel like with all the sports games, they kind of don't hit that same level of thing, and I would love a remake for Sluggers on the Switch or whatever. But I don't really play Nintendo or Switch at all as much as I used to, as much as I used to. Um, but I wanted to do a tier list on this because I thought it would be interesting. This isn't gonna be based off like stats because I know objectively some characters are better than others. This is just my own personal opinion on like who I would put on my team pretty often. I think it's 9. I think you get 9 players, if I'm not mistaken. And right off the bat, I will tell you, I almost never used Mii's. For me wise, I only had like myself on my Wii, and I would never use myself as the me, as the me like character baseballer. So we're gonna go down the list here and see. I changed the tiers here. So you have the first one, which is always on the team. I You will always have them on the roster on my squad. Replacement or secondary pick. That's usually how I play with my friends. Is you go back and forth. Someone picks someone. Someone picks someone, and obviously you're not gonna get everybody you usually play with. And when that happens, so these are my secondary picks where if I don't get everybody I like, these are the ones my go-tos when something gets taken already. The middle one is sometimes on the team. It's like, they're okay if you want to switch it up, if you don't want to just keep using the same characters over and over. These are the guys you go to. Green is rare picks who I might pick. Again, let's say a lot of my guys get taken and none of these guys are available, whatever. And then blue is I never pick these. Even if I have no other choice, I'll do all Mii's instead, or I'll pick the secondary colors of the same ones I have. I just won't ever pick these. So we're gonna go down the line here, starting with Mario. I think this is a good like down the middle. He's okay. Like obviously he's always built to be like the all across the board stats type of character. Um, so he's a good pick as well. I'd say Luigi is a little bit above him. Um, there's 4 stats. I think there's hitting, catching, running, and pitching. And I just always remember Luigi being a little bit better. For my playstyle personally. As for the two princesses, I would never pick these. Mostly because when I was playing this, I'd be like, "Ooh, it's a girl," and I'm not picking them. I'm not picking them. But mostly just because, like, I don't know. I felt like they always fell short. A lot of these characters like kind of fall short. I always hated when you'd have a good hit, it wouldn't get caught, and then they wouldn't run fast enough, and they'd still get out on the going to first base. That would be really annoying. Um, and I always felt like they never ran fast enough. Yoshi is a sometimes as well. I forget specifically what all these are good at. I know that obviously the heavier characters are good at hitting. Uh, More athletic characters are better at running, and then you have like, you have certain characters that are better at pitching. I think that's all like the actual people that have hands, stuff like that. Like I think Yoshi's really good at pitching, if I remember that correctly. Stuff like that. Like there are certain characters, obviously, there are better than others. But I would always lean towards the heavy hitters, even if they didn't really run fast. I'd have like 1 or 2 good runners just to get people on base, but then the rest of them I would just stack to try and get home runs and triples and stuff like that. And Yoshi was one I'd pick sometimes. I'd throw him on there just to be a good all rounder. Birdo, not so much. I don't remember anything about the stats. Actually, no, this is a never pick, actually, for me. I was gonna say if I remember this, but I don't remember ever picking Birdo, ever. Wario is kind of there as well. Wario was never a huge fan of mine. Because there's a setting to turn on like the powers, and only some characters have like their special ability. Um, a lot of them don't have that though. They just have like their basic star power, which I think just gives it more accuracy and more power. Like more strength. It goes like farther. But a lot of them have powers, like they have like special powers, and like Wario's and I think Waluigi's as well. I don't know what the difference between the two of theirs is, but one of theirs is like it curves, like it does sharp like corners. I think that's Waluigi's. It does like sharp turns every few seconds. We would play with powers like every other game because sometimes you want a fair game, you just want it to be based off of skill and stuff, and sometimes you're just trying to have fun. But also when I played with my friends, we'd always do a full 9 innings. So those games were long. We'd be playing for almost over an hour, basically, um, going through all the innings. We didn't do the mercy rule. Mercy rules for bitches, and we did all 9 innings. So we were in it for the long haul. I played this game a lot when I was growing up. That puts Waluigi in the secondary pick. He was a good secondary pick because he's quite literally a good curveball. Um, to throw in there to be unpredictable. But now we get to the first always on the team. Donkey Kong is always on the team. As I said, I'm a big heavy hitter type of character picker. It seems like every other hit Donkey Kong throws is a home run. And I don't know how they calculate it in game when it is a home run. I don't really think it has anything to do with like how perfectly the ball is lined up in your circle in your reticle when it's time to hit. But at the same time, I don't think it matters for Donkey Kong. I think he's always just hitting home runs. So he's a little busted. It's okay. He's a little busted. But Diddy Kong, not so much. He's like a rare pick. I didn't ever really pick him at all. Um, Most of the other Kongs I didn't really pick. Besides like Funky, but even Funky has his moments where he's basically just like a carbon copy of Donkey Kong. Um, there are a few on here like the heavy hitters that are just it feels like they're broken because they don't run far, but if they're getting home runs, they don't actually have to run the bases. So it was kind of a loophole to get around like half the game. It was great. And that puts Bowser up on always on the team. You just it's so nasty every single time he hits. It's like these two always have home runs. And surprisingly, I don't know if he's classified as a heavy hitter, but Bowser Jr. as well. All these characters have powers when you would play with powers. He had his paintball. Bowser Jr. has his paintball, but he also is very good at hitting home runs. He's got good stats. He's a very interesting character. I don't know if he's considered fast, but I also don't know if he's considered a heavy hitter. I don't have the stats pulled up for each individual character. So he's just I remember just him being like a very interesting character to play with. The Yoshis are interesting because they're better with each other. They have like a buddy system. If you don't know anything about Super Mario Sluggers, um, obviously it's baseball, but depending on your team composition, some players work well with each other. And that means I think they run faster towards each other. They can pitch to each other fast, like across the field. They could throw the ball to each other faster. They work better as a machine, as a team together. Especially when you put them closer together. Like it's really helpful to do that. It's good to have them like people that are that work better together everywhere. It's like you don't want a blind spot. If you have them on the infield, they throw really fast to each other. You get a lot of outs. But if you put the bunch of buddies in the outfield, they can do a special move called a buddy jump, which means if something hits a home run, if your enemy, the opposing team hits a home run, there's a chance that you could get two buddies right next to each other. They can run over to each other in the outfield, and they could do basically a buddy assisted double jump and throw each other in the air to try and catch the home run ball. It's really cool. It's a very, very cool system. This game is really dope. Um, but that's why you want to have people of the buddy system. And of course, because half the roster is cloned characters of each other, they are all buddy. They are all buddy buddy with each other. Uh, and within their own, they have like not tribes, but there are different like parks that you have to go through like the story mode, and each individual park has all of the characters from each thing. What I mean by that is like all the Kongs are in DK Jungle. There's a Yoshi Island. There's like a Yoshi theme park, like roller coaster. All the Yoshis are there. Um, I actually don't know who else is there. I think it's just the Yoshis. The Yoshis, not the Piantas, because that's in the Mario one. Um, that's weird. I actually don't know who else is. Oh, Wiggler. I mean, Wiggler is. But yeah, there are. I don't know if there are many, but the Yoshis are some of the hardest characters to get. There's like a whole side quest with like a red card item and shit. That it's like that one I remember being one of the hardest. I think it was like either red Yoshi or light blue Yoshi is one of the hardest ones to get. Because some to do the story mode and unlock characters, you either have to do like skill missions, so like you have to do a certain move a bunch of times, beat them in a game, or you have to do like just some quest throughout the story thing. Um, so some of them are a lot tougher to get, especially if you're doing a difficult mission. But as it goes for all the Yoshis, they're all buddy buddy with each other. So for me, when I wouldn't get, if a lot of my always on the team is stolen by the enemy, by the other team, I would dump that strat and keep just like DK and Funky Kong on my team, and then just have all Yoshis because they're really good all rounders. Um, so you just dump all Yoshis and you'd have, if you got lucky, you could have all six of them. Um, and be very good. You could put one on each of the bases, one as a pitcher, and then one in the outfield, and you'd have a really good coverage of your bases, basically a very good coverage of your entire systems. And for that reason, I think I'm gonna put them all in sometimes on the team because I didn't ever leave one of them out. When I was running my Yoshi strat, I would run them all. I cannot say the same for Toads. The Toads are kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie. Not a fan of all the Toads. The thing with them is that they're like Yoshis. They're a little worse in stats, but there are more of them. There's two more, which means you can cover actually all of your bases. You could cover the four bases, the three spots in outfield, and then have who their leader is Peach as the pitcher, which is really strong. That's a very strong full team to have. And at that point, it doesn't matter who you have as like shortstop because your bases are so strong. But yeah, so that's their thing. But I never really ran them. Definitely not Toadette. But Toadsworth I would run sometimes just for the meme because I liked Toadsworth as a kid. I always thought he was cool. The Nokis I would never run. That's just right off the bat. Piantas I would never run. It always just seems like they fell flat. Also because you could go in any order for like the story island. You can pick any order. There's the DK Jungle. There's Wario City. There's Yoshi's Roller Coaster. There's Mario's like just field and Mario's outfield, and then I think that's it. Actually, I think that's just the six of them, right? I think so. Yeah, it's just those six. Um. Oh, and then like Daisy Cruiser and Luigi's thing, but those aren't actual places you can go to. But this is like there really isn't a one you have to do initially, but it always felt like this one was the starting one, and they were the worst characters. Same with all the babies. I would never run the babies, any of them, because they were again all just kind of dog shit. I would run DK Junior, just because again it's kind of like Toadsworth where it's funny, but you don't do it because he's actually a good character. Although I remember him being like deceptively really good. Contrary to what I just said, I remember him being like he would just hit home runs sometimes just because he's a Kong or something like that. I don't remember exactly what that was, but I could have swore that like he was like really like strangely a very good character. Again, not saying the same for Dixie. But Funky, I will say, always on the team. If I could, I would have him on. He and Donkey Kong always on the team. Classic voice lines. He's one of the few characters that actually speak. Not just you know, he just like he actually says words. Uh, all on top of also just making funny sounds. So he gets the spot in the team. This is Candy Kong. I'm pretty sure. Genuinely, I can't remember ever picking her, so I'm not gonna put her on the thing. Goomba as well literally does not have arms, but Paragoomba, I liked Paragoomba just because he was unique. I would put him on there sometimes. I would put him on. Um, but I do like him for no reason above him, but I think his running is a little better. I think his there's something about him. They raise his running a bunch and they lower something else. Or he could just be a better runner. I don't have the stats pulled up, but I remember liking him a lot more. Just off no bias, just because I liked him more. Koopas were sometimes pick. I don't mind picking any of the Koopas. Same with the Bros, but definitely less. Again, a lot of these guys, especially the Bowser enemies, you get late in the game. Just because they are harder to obtain. Um, I don't remember exactly what the stipulations are, but I remember the Bros, the Kameks, and I think some of the Koopas you can get early, but I don't know if you can get all of them. Definitely not the dry Koopas. I think you unlock all of them once you beat Bowser. I'm pretty sure. Because I don't remember the missions for these guys. Kameks, we don't run Kameks in this house. No son of mine will be a Kamek runner. Rare picks, we sometimes run this, but I always like the different characters. I like the unique ones, like the Dry Bones, but like the Dark Dry Bones, so cool. He had the spikes on his back, the red eyes, like that was a cool extra pick. Again, it was like, you know, even if you have the whole team of bangers, you have to pick like your guy to put on the team. My guy, Black Shy Guy. You gotta put him on the team. Here's the thing. You have to put him on the team. It does not matter. All the other ones I would almost never pick because I would literally say to my friends when we were playing, I was like, you don't give me Black Shy Guy, I'm gonna beat your ass outside of the game. Beat your ass outside of the game. You will be giving me Black Shy Guy. He's also my main pick for Mario Kart. He's my main Mario Kart pick. Unfortunately, not in Worlds because they took out colors. God, that game is so shit. What a garbage game, legitimately. It's like, okay, but in 8, definitely in 8, he's my go-to. Monty, I like Monty, but I would not put him as often on the team. But I would put Blooper always on the team. He's another one where it's like, I don't care if his stats are dog shit. He's just going on the team because he's Blooper. It's awesome. Boo and King Boo are there as well. I would prefer King Boo, just I think his stats are better. So I would do him over normal, but if I couldn't get King Boo, I would just do the normal one anyway. Just banger after banger. We got Petey, we have Wiggler here. Petey's a monster, and I don't even mean that because he literally is a monster. He is the most nasty character in the game, without fail. Almost, when you say almost every hit is a home run with DK, legitimately every hit with PD can be a hit. It can be a home run. In a run in a game, every hit can be a home run with him, and that's not even like it's like every single hit with PD was a home run. Yeah, yeah. It's like that's not even surprising, just because of how much of a beast he is. It's actually kind of disgusting. In a lot of games, I've seen people ban him to be like, you can't pick PD because he's that gross. Because I don't know if he's a great runner, but again, getting home runs, if your friends, if or whoever your opponent is, isn't running someone on the buddy system, you just can't prevent him from doing home runs. And God forbid they don't know about the buddy jump, because the game doesn't really tell you. It's not one of those things. Like there's a little music note when you're moving them to positions on the field, but it doesn't ever really tell you like, hey, you can do a buddy jump. It tells you on the tips on the loading screens sometimes. And that once the game starts, those tips don't appear, really. Like, you're not paying attention to that shit. It's like it's kind of nasty. He's very nasty. I've seen him banned. If this was a normal tier list and we were doing S, I'd make an S plus tier to put him in it because he's nasty. He's very nasty. The Kremlies, we would never run the Kremlies, but their leader, he is the last one to complete my 9. This is the squad. If you haven't noticed, this is the squad. If I could get my hands on all these guys and you let me pick my 9 first, you're done. Like, I'm sorry, you're done. K. Rool is just like both the DKs and Bowser, where he just gets home runs. This was the lineup here. You have, sometimes I'd run Mario. Actually, I'm gonna move Mario up, because it's not fair. I would run Mario, now that I'm thinking about it, I would run Mario a little bit more often than I give him credit for there. Yeah, I actually, now that I think about it, no, I do remember, I did run Luigi more. Uh, hmm. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna leave it there. Um, because sometimes if King Boo gets picked, one of my friends really likes King Boo, so I would let him have King Boo, and I'd replace him with one of the Mario Brothers. Yeah. No, that's fair. I keep forgetting like comparatively how much I pick Mario compared to these other guys, but it's like pretty often, so I'll move him up one. But I would definitely say I did pick Luigi more, but Mario less than Luigi, but not enough to put him down here is what I'd say. Um, but yeah, this is the squad. This 9 up here is the squad for sure. I could even tell you like with the order I would do it in. You do it here, you do the 2 Kongs, you do this, and then you have these 3 at the end. This is literally the exact order I used to run them in. Sometimes these swapped, but it's that shit doesn't matter. It's like because the between innings you get a like, oh, who's up next for both teams to kind of like prepare. And it's just like a little audio thing just to swap the teams. It's like a loading screen of sorts. And in the next box you would just see little white like Shy Guy mask face, and you'd see 2 Bowsers. It was such a bad omen for the enemy team. It is so funny. But this is the lineup. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is it. This is the squad again. The squad. We got multiple kings on the team. We have multiple monsters on the team. I think all of the heavy characters, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think. Yeah, I think I have all the heavy characters on the team, and PD included. I think the only thing that comes close after that are the Kremlings. But I think that's or Wario. But I think that's it. I never used Muse. I know that at least I think that the colors dictate what they're good at. Like reds, they're good at hitting. Like they have different stats if depending on what your color on your Mii you chose as. But for the Mii's, all of these. I don't know why Charlie Brown's here, but all of these are going into the never picked. Um, but yeah, this is the definitive list for sure. These some garbage picks, and these are the side grade picks that I would do. Definitely throwing Wiggler in place of PD if he was banned. Definitely throwing Mario in place of King Boo when he was unavailable. That was always a good time. But very cool game. I might play it for the channel sometime. I think that'd be a fun little side video to do, just to share my childhood a little bit, share my nostalgia with you all. But for now, I'm gonna leave this here. Just a small fun vid to do. And I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a good day. Peace.